book lovers and mashers. Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Mash. As always, we have me and, of course, the one and only Ashley here today, and we're diving into a story that mixes revenge, romance, and second chances in all the best ways. We have GM Parrillo, the author of A Fall for Grace, here today with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you
Super
guys so much for
exciting.
having
Of
me.
course, yes. Can you take just a couple minutes and introduce yourself and your work, and then we'll jump into some questions?
Sure. My name's GM, and I'm a Gen X Jersey girl, born and raised here. Spent 9 torturous months in Florida that it was so awful. I had to come back to Jersey. How about that? That is how Jersey I am.
Love it.
48 years old. I'm a mom of 2 boys. I have my wonderful husband. I've got my dachshund somewhere, probably at the bottom of my feet. And I just published my first book. Like you said, A Fall for Grace back in April. I just released the second book in the series, Bad Decisions. So that came out back in September. But I've been writing since I was a little kid. And my very first story I ever wrote was a Batman fanfic.
Oh.
I know. And yet I publish spicy rom-coms. So,
I'm not
we went
complaining.
from superhero to rom-com, but that's all right.
It works.
So that's just a little bit about me.
We love it. GM, we're so excited to have you. I've said it 100 times, and I'll always, whenever somebody's on here, say it 100 times, because we really do get like ridiculously excited when we get to do this. So let's kick things off. For
Okay.
those who haven't met you yet, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Funny,
Yeah.
and funny.
I love it.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I just real. I'm very real.
I love real humor. I'm all for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
My kind of lady.
I know.
Yeah.
I love laughing while reading and reading while laughing. So it works for me.
Yeah,
I
no,
know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know if I have a third one, but no, I'm going to go with really funny.
Yes,
That's it. That's
really
all I've got for
funny.
you.
Perfect.
I love it. That worked.
Yeah. We love hearing everybody's writing origin stories. You said that you wrote the Batman fanfic, but what first got
Yes.
you started putting your ideas on paper and something that you wanted to publish? Was there a specific moment, or did the characters just refuse to stay quiet on you?
Grace has always been a character that I've written about for years. I mean, beyond years. And she's had many different versions of who she was. She was a lawyer. She was an entertainment lawyer. She was always something in the legal field, which is really funny because instead I made her a writer. But I think it's also because I was a paralegal for so long. So for me, it was always like, okay, this is my world. I could write about it. And then one day I just was like, I just stopped writing. But Grace always stuck right back here all the time. And there was a moment where, perfectly honest, my husband and I just weren't getting along. I felt very left out of things, and I was really sad. I was in my feels, and I thought, hey, maybe this Gracie chick should come and have a revenge story.
Ooh.
Because I also have an ex-husband, and I kind of I've always wanted to settle the record and set it straight. And so, so originally Fall for Grace was going to be a revenge story. It was going to be a thriller. That didn't happen. It started out really good. Okay, she's going to get revenge. And then and then the husband, and you're going to, 2 guys broke her heart. And then I started writing chapter 2, and Jim walks in, and he's just such a cinnamon roll. And I was just like,
Here we go.
great, here we go. It's a second chance romance. Oh boy. And so
But
it
I
became
think
this
it'd
romance
be good.
novel.
Okay, here we go, Miranda. Drum roll. Reason number 2 why Ashley should write a book: revenge on husband.
Stop.
No, in all seriousness, that's definitely something that helps. I'm going to tell you, writing A Fall for Grace was very cathartic for me because it gave me that opportunity to, even though I'll never see my in-laws again, well, I mean, hopefully, please, God, but it was my little way of saying, no, I wasn't the one who had the affair, pal. Just saying. It was a total boom. I dropped that bad boy.
I'm so here for it.
Yeah.
No, my husband and I are great. But our love language is like the sarcasm, the bickering, the picking on each other all the time.
Oh, yeah. No, my husband is Jim. It was just that, he's an old man. We
Mhm.
live an age gap romance. He's 15 years my senior. That's why I'll never write
I
age gap because I live it. I don't want to write about it. So everybody else enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. I will never. But my husband is Jim. He is a cinnamon roll. But there was
love it.
like there was that summer where he just was just so involved with work and everything else. I felt
Mhm.
very lonely in my marriage. And I was like, revenge story. You're going to pay attention to me. And now I wrote this book. And he initially, when I wrote it, was like, nobody can know it's you. Nobody, you can't have Gina on there. Everybody's going to know. Gina Parrillo, everybody's going to know. Oh my God. I was like, okay, GM? Can I just get away with GM? But then he goes into his office and tells everybody to go buy the book. And he tells his own family to go buy the book. Guess what they did? Like, congratulations. So much for keeping
I'm
it a
dying.
secret there, pal.
I'm dying. That's something it is something my husband did do. So Miranda, another reason Miranda and I are polar opposites is Miranda keeps her like personal life like off the screen. She has like social media pen names that she uses and stuff like that. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, you want to know what's going on? I'll give it to you. Here you
Right.
go. It's free.
Yep.
And my husband, like when we started this, like I said, we're both teachers. And Miranda is a certified teacher. I'm a fake teacher. I don't have a degree. But that was like my biggest thing was like, everybody knows what I read because I talk about it all the time. So they know
Right.
I read the spicy stuff. They know I read the dark stuff.
Right.
They all know. And I'm like, well, if I come on here and I'm talking about what I'm reading and like it gets to the boss, like what, like, I'm like, but it's not really
Right.
me talking about it and
Right.
listening to people talk about it.
Yeah.
But he tells everybody. Like, thanks, honey.
Love that.
Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking about my husband.
No
So-
worries.
Okay, so we saw that A Fall for Grace was your debut. You've already
Yes.
said book 2 came out.
Yes.
What inspired this particular story? Was it the delicious revenge? Oh, you already kind of said it
Yeah.
was the revenge.
Yeah.
But like, was it the revenge or the long lost love angle that grabbed you first?
Initially, it was the revenge, but because I'm a stream of conscious writer, it just evolved into what it became, which was the second chance romance.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it just, for me, initially it was revenge. But like I said, I got to chapter 2. And when there's that moment between Grace and Jim and they're seeing each other in the bar and she's on her way out the door, she hasn't said anything to him. And she's like just scared to death. It's that tension that I really enjoyed writing. And then I was like, oh, okay, fine.
You're like,
fine.
dang, I got to go down this road instead.
Right. But I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun
Yeah,
for
sure.
me.
I bet.
It was a lot of fun because I sat down and I was like, then I was thinking, is there anybody from high school that I would? No, absolutely not. Not a single one of them. So it was like that idea. And then what kind of put me in that frame of mind was I sat down and I was like, well, what if Frank and I had gone to high school? My husband, what if he and I had gone to high school together? Would this have happened? It may have happened because he went off into the Marine Corps after he graduated high school. So there's always that
Yeah.
really strong possibility that if we weren't 15 years apart and we were the same age and we had seen each other, and I just sit there and I go, oh yeah, this could very well be our romance,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband and I actually talk about that a lot. We're like, if something different had happened, like in one of our lives, you think we still would have made it together? You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he had all these different things that he wanted to try when he was younger. He wanted to go to the military. He thought he could be an MLB player, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, I think if you did those, we still would have ended up meeting. Like, there's a
Yeah.
chance that it could have happened because like he's from South Dakota and he ended up
Okay.
in Washington when he was a
Okay.
kid. So the fact that geographically it happened to begin with is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I feel that way with my husband. And it's funny because we met when he was 45. I was going to be 30. And so I was like 29 and I had just gotten out of my previous marriage. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to fall in love. I'm falling in love with myself. And then then my girlfriend's like, "Oh, let's go play poker. There's free poker at this place." So we went, and my husband's and he starts like flirting with me. And I'm like, "Oh, well, you're kind of good looking." I thought he was 36. I'm like, maybe dating somebody like only a few years older than me. No,
Yeah.
it's 15 years older than me. I was like, "Oh, God, what am I doing?" And now I'm
There
married.
you go. Yeah. My husband and I are 6 years
Crazy.
apart. It's not as big of a gap,
No,
but
Yeah, we're only
it's
4.
still there. Like,
that's,
but it doesn't seem
oh,
like
yeah.
it's there at all.
Oh, no, emotionally and mentally, I'm older.
I feel too.
I say women mature faster than men do, so it kind of
Yeah.
bridges the gap.
Yes.
It also helps that men don't ever mature. At least mine. Mine hasn't matured. Yeah. Mine's
Yeah.
1.
Yes, our husbands are the same age.
I'm glad you remember how old my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. It's 63. They'll be exactly the same.
Do they ever learn to pick up their clothes? That's what I want to know.
I do have to say, okay, so he was raised in a single mother's home. Like it was his mom and then his 2 older sisters, and he was the baby. And so he will leave his socks on the floor, but then at least he picks it up but he throws it down the stairs to be washed.
It ends up in like 3 places before it gets to where it's supposed to be.
My husband leaves a trail.
Yeah.
Like he walks through a door, he takes off his shoes. Then he takes off his shirt. And then his
Right.
pants. And
Yeah, no.
normally his socks, if he's wearing socks with his tennis shoes, because he normally doesn't do that,
No.
are there. So he
No.
literally leaves like this whole trail.
That's something I do have to say. If he's going to take off his clothes, he's going to put them all in one pile. However, it's in front of our TVs.
You don't have more soap, do we, for him?
No.
Or we just caught.
No, my youngest is taking his shower. So, and I got asked because he knows I know he knows I'm doing this, but he didn't think to ask me before we started recording. This is my life.
Yeah,
I'm dying.
it's normal.
It's what it's like on TikTok too. It's no different.
Yeah, my 13-year-old just came down here and she's like, "Can we go out front in a little while?" I was like, yeah, not right now.
Yeah.
It's normal."
Mine always like cracks the door. I never know which one it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you can see eyeball.
like we live this life too.
Yeah.
We're
I
here.
know. That's why I'm just like, mhm.
Chaos is our like line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about premise a little bit. We're going to jump back into the book here. We've gone on like 5 different tangents. Reconnecting with someone after 27 years, that is a whole lot of history. How did you capture all of the complicated emotions between your main characters?
I felt like they had never stopped loving one another. When you have that love and it's that deep inside of you, and there's that, for Grace, it's that love. And for Jim, it's that regret. And it's realizing, having gone through a marriage with Liz, having been cheated on, all these different things, he's realizing, my God, like I'm a complete moron. I never should have done this. I would have been living a happily ever after my whole life.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like needed to be captured. I needed to make sure that it's that yearning, that her, Grace questioning herself, because it's really about her. She's sitting there going, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like there's that internal struggle for her. But at the same time, she's been deprived of love throughout an entire marriage, or at least her conception of that she's just like, okay, I can't do it anymore. And so when Jim walks in and he's just so Jim, and it's just like, he walks into a room, she's going to turn into mush. But at the same time, she walks into a room and he's a pile of mush. The 2 of them are just perfect together.
Yeah.
And it's like
Now we can
knowing
end
that.
there.
Yeah.
Combine your piles of mush and be mushed together.
Yeah. That's it. Big mushy lump of everything.
Yeah. That we can
Yeah.
just like roll our
Yeah.
keep being mushy. Miranda, get on our page here. We're talking about mush.
Okay.
All mush.
Gosh. Miranda's no fun. She doesn't get the mush. Okay. Without giving spoilers away, we will try to behave and try not to pull spoilers.
Okay.
Can you share a little bit about how the revenge plot weaves through the romance? Yeah, we're here for it. All of it.
Okay. Grace is very talented. She and Jim were in, musicals together. Well, Grace has performed and competed in many different things over her younger years. And she may or may not have crossed paths with some people in her life that ended in results that person may not have liked. And so by chance happenings, this individual may just, be a little bit of a sore loser and emotionally unhinged.
My kind
And
of book. Tell you what.
And I'm telling you, and she, yeah, I've given that away. Yeah, it's really interesting. So I'm gonna say you
And
don't
GM
like
knows how
this
to go.
particular character. Yeah. Are you kidding? He doesn't even have to. It's like here, fishy, like that. Just take the bait. Like it's not even that. He just needs to say her name, and it's just like, like instant. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong. And he's like a single dad to 2 girls who he
Yeah.
named after the actress that played the character that was Grace's favorite character. A lot of people don't even realize that in the book. Grace's favorite character is Scarlett O'Hara. Well, Scarlett O'Hara's first name is Catherine. And so it's Katie Scarlett O'Hara, right? And she's played by Vivian Lee. Well, Jim's daughters are Katie and Vivian. It's actually Katie Scarlett Woolley and Vivian Lee Woolley. So it's literally they're named after. And Jim's ex-wife doesn't know why he's given them their
I was
names.
gonna ask, would she know?
Never knew.
Sneaky.
Little
Never knew.
guy.
Yep. But that shows where that love is, where that love always is. And has been. It's always been for Grace.
Yeah.
So when she hears their names, like their full names, like she realizes, holy crap, this guy's has to have been in love with me for this long.
Yeah.
Like, how do I not trust him? You know what I mean? After all these years. So yeah, it's something as simple as that.
You officially just won me over with the name thing.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Yep.
and there's a little bit of a teaser in the book for her boy's name that her 2 boys are named Calvin and Colin. Well, Calvin is for Calvin and Hobbes, which happens to be my favorite comic strip.
Yeah.
And then Colin is named for Colin Bridgerton because he's my favorite Bridgerton out of all of them. So yeah, and the Bridgerton books came out like back when I was in high school. So, like towards the end of when I was graduating high school, but like they came out back in the 90s. So for me to go and put that in there, that's my little tip to Julia Quinn.
That's cool.
As being a romance writer that I've always fully enjoyed for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little Easter egg that a lot of people may or may not know.
I love that.
Well, now we know.
Yeah, now we know.
Yes, you do.
And now all of you.
Now you do. Yes.
So we've heard there's a villain who's been out to get your FMC for years. We love a good scheme. How did that character come to life, and what makes a great villain in your opinion?
I didn't. To be perfectly honest, I knew it had to be somebody that could be triggered by somebody. But at the same time, I feel like it's the very evil part of me. Grace is the normal version of me, the very happy version of me, but the very spiteful, evil, vindictive version of me is Liz, 100%. I'm not even going to question that. So it's kind of the two sides of who I am. For her, it's just, I don't know, she just can't let it go. Like for me personally, I can just let it go. But I sat down and I thought about it, like, what would truly make an awful villain? Well, it's somebody who refuses to let something go.
Yeah.
They can't move past. They're not willing to. It's not in their DNA. And so that's why when I created her, it had to be, like I said, almost the complete opposite of who I am in real life.
I'm a villain.
But that means you'll do a great job
Mhm.
writing one. Yeah, but then you'll do a great job writing one.
Well, you see here. Remember how I said reason number 2 why I might write a book? There's like 18 million reasons why I'm not writing. Like literally every episode has a reason why I'm never writing a book.
No.
And we're up to the 18 million.
We will see.
We'll see. Listen, you just need to reach out to me. I'll walk you right through
There
it.
you go.
I have ADHD. I don't know if I could. It might take me a very, very, very long time.
Listen, I got 2
3
kids
words
on
at
the
a time.
spectrum with ADHD. My husband on the spectrum with ADHD. Girl, You're like a walk in the park compared to those three. And I live with them.
You hear that, Miranda? She said I'm a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Now you just need to convince Miranda I'm a walk in the park.
Shut up. Gosh.
Because Miranda does not think so.
Never
Miranda says
said
I'm
that.
too much.
Oh my gosh. No, I said that we didn't want to clone you is what I said. I didn't say you were too much.
Yeah, why can't we clone me? That's what I want to know. Like, why? Hence going back to the not being able to let things go. Miranda said in an episode, we are not cloning Ashley.
You're enough in one
Aw.
package. We don't need 15 of you.
My husband says
You're not very nice.
one of me is enough.
Yeah.
That's what my husband has said. One of you is enough. And I
Mm.
go, really? Because I could use some like multiplicity things going on.
Right?
Yeah. More
I agree.
hands. More hands.
Yes. Yep.
Mom said leave that.
Yep.
Okay, since we know that you have made this a series, we have to ask, what can you tease about book 2, Bad Decisions? And number 1, we're already in love with the title.
Okay, so it follows book 1. So it's follows A Fall for Grace, and I have gotten a ton of flack about this, to the point where when I went on to the indie author lives that Mama D does, when she found out who the FMC and the MMC was, instantly I came up at the box, I clicked my face, and she goes, "Girl," and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble." Okay, so this is who it is. I'm not even gonna bother teasing. It's an enemies to lovers. So if you know in book 1 who who the two characters are, who hate each other the most, those are your love interests. And you definitely get my favorite line, one of my favorite lines is, "Be a good girl, smile, and wave." Chapter 1. I hit you at chapter 1 with that. I'm going to tell you. And it's spicier than the first book. It is spicier than the first book. So there's actually a trick that is actually true. It involves oranges and ice, which is hence why the chapter art is oranges and ice cubes at the top of every chapter.
Okay.
So there is details on how oranges and ice and pineapple are used.
Alexa,
So wait,
cancel.
I'm gonna.
quitting.
The funniest part is that I had never heard of this. It was my best friend who I modeled the FMC after, and who had told me about this little trick. And so she's there, and she's like, "Oh, and you've got to do this thing with oranges and ice cubes." I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And she goes, "Yeah, if." And she tells me how this is done. And I was like, "What if?" And I said, "What happens in the book?" And she goes, "Yes." I was like, so yeah. Yeah, it's a great scene. Let me put it to you this way. I brought the book to a book convention, and 4 firemen were there. They showed up to just check and make sure everything was safe in the area. And this one speaker was going on and on and on. And the firemen were like just kind of standing there like this. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get called in because my books are too spicy and hot?" I was like, "I'm sorry." That's literally how I opened it. They came over and started reading my book. And one of the firemen was like, "Oh, well, what should we read?" I opened it up to the page about the fire, oranges and ice cubes, and I videotaped it. I have since posted it in my TikTok, and I showed what their reactions were. Do you know he took a picture of the page, texted it to his wife, and then they got sent out on a call? Wait, gets better. He came back an hour later with $30 to buy the bundle and have them signed. He was like, "My wife told me I had to buy the books." I was like, "You're welcome."
You're welcome.
Yeah, you can thank me later.
Yeah,
I'll
I
send
did.
you my Cash App for a tip.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. But listen, that was awesome. It was like hook, line, and sinker. Was just that scene. I couldn't get over it. But yeah, so that's what I can tell you. It's the 2 from the first book that absolutely can't stand each other. It's very blatant. And yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're feisty. They're both feisty. But it's nice because you finish book 1, you finish A Fall for Grace, and you still can't stand this one particular character. And then you go into book 2 and you're just like, there's no way that that I'm going to be able to create this redemption story for that particular character because of how they have acted in book one. But apparently I'm getting 5 and 4 stars on the book, and I was able to do this redemption on this character. So, but it's giving them a backstory, giving them their backstory and their explanation and their point of view. So it was a lot of fun, and those two were just a blast to write. And now that I'm on to book 3, I'm like, okay, because I set that up in book 2.
Yeah.
So see fun with that
Book
one.
3, you
I
guys,
like
you
it.
heard it. Book.
All right, we're
Yeah.
going to do our lightning round. So,
Perfect.
whichever one pops into your head first, no overthinking. Revenge or redemption?
Enemies to lovers or friends to lovers?
Oh, friends to lovers.
Morning writer or midnight dreamer?
Oh, morning writer.
Not me. I would be in bed. Favorite comfort read when you're in a slump?
Pollen fanfics.
That. Okay. Favorite comfort read when, gosh, one trope you'll always say yes to.
The cheating trope. The cheating trope.
I like it. Favorite writing snack?
Oh, pistachios.
Ooh, we haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Book that you would take on a deserted island.
Romancing Mr. Bridgerton.
Oh yeah. One word your friends would use to describe you?
Hilarious.
I can attest.
Yeah. No way. No way. No.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's been so fun having you on the show.
Oh no.
Thank you
Thank you
so
guys so
much
much
for joining me.
No, thank you. I appreciate
course.
this. Trust me.
Before we sign
We love
off, before we sign off, where can everybody find you and all of your wonderful work?
So I do have a website. It's gmparrillo.net, not .com. It's 2 R's, 2 L's. So it's gmparrillo.net. And you can get my book. As Phineas Delgado says, anywhere fine books are sold. And it's on, the books are on KU. I'll be in D&K bookstores, which is an indie bookstore, the Inkbound bookshop in Gort County, Galway, Ireland, and a bunch of other places. Shelf Love Atlanta. So I've got a couple places.
Very nice. Cool.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we'll have everything GM linked below in the caption so you can go follow, like, share, read, all of the things. Until next time, keep mashing, and may your TBRs be ever in your favor. Thanks everybody for joining
God,
Bye,
the
guys.
Weekly Mash.